Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger. Check out my interview right here on Amarudontv, the industry stakeholders. Peace. I think it's Metropolis.
Metropolis Studio.
Yeah.
And like I said before, in this ain't C, D, E.
Nah.
This is
Studio A.
Studio A.
Only. Studio A.
Studio A.
You're not in Studio A. Don't let them tell you that, you know. Don't let them send you to Studio H. Studio G.
Is there a difference between actually the rankings of the studios? Like,
usually Studio A is like the one.
Yeah.
You know, it depends though.
Yeah.
You never know. I was joking.
So like you're saying, what brings you to London? Like, what projects are you working on over here?
Got sent out here actually to do some work on Rihanna's next album. So I'm super excited about that. You know what I mean? Because you know, as a songwriter, as a producer, that's one of the projects that you just fight to get on. You know what I mean? You know, people are working on her project around the world, you know, every country, and to have one of the songs out of those 10 to 12, you know, out of the hundreds and hundreds that are submitted, it's a good feeling.
And then, but with that, is it, like you said, it must be competitive then to get like placements on this. How competitive is it then?
It's gotten a lot more competitive, you know, as of lately, just because you can do, you know, music anywhere. You know, you can just do it on your laptop. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more songwriters, you know, there's a lot more producers because they have the access, you know, to make music, you know, at their fingertips. Mm-hmm. So 100 might have been, you know, downplaying the amount of people that are actually trying to submit songs for these, you know, big projects. So it's just a blessing to be out here working with her, you know what I mean, like getting instant results, you know.
So did you guys like meet up while she was out?
Yeah.
Okay, how was that like, you know, like?
Oh, it was crazy. Her energy was crazy. As soon as she walked in the room, it was like, that's a star. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in the room with several people, but when she came in, it was just like,
was that your first time meeting her?
Yeah. So I was like, I was excited to meet her, you know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't know how she was going to, you know, be receptive, or, but she was just, came in, life of the party, so it was great.
Now, you're on Bieber's album. Man, let's talk about that.
Okay.
That's that guy, Justin. So what tracks do you have on the album?
I wrote on Right Here, which is featuring Drake, and then on Thought of You. And Right Here was produced by Hit Boy, who's killing it right now, and then Thought of You was by Diplo. So.
And then also Usher as well.
Usher too, man. Usher, the single out now, Let Me See, with Rick Ross, produced by Jim Johnson, did that one. And then have one on there with 40, who's Drake's producer, did a song called What Happened to You with him, and then one called I Care For You with Danger. So I'm excited, man. Just on a little ride, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying it.
And then also I remember when I first heard you like vocal music was on the song with Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Stay for the Night. So how did you and Chipmunk like get to
that was actually a connection through a producer that's from here, actually, Harmony Samuels.
Oh, Harmony, yeah.
Yeah, Harmony's from here, and he moved out to LA, and I got real close with Harmony, and then Harmony was like, yo, my little cousin that's from London, he's like, that's who we gotta work on, we gotta do projects for him. So immediately I was like, let's do it, you know what I mean? So we did the song Champion, and then Chipmunk came out.
Oh, you was on Champion?
Yeah, did Champion too. Okay. And then Chipmunk came out to LA, and ever since then it's just been a brotherhood. Just been back and forth, working on you know, his album Transition, working on his mixtape. Spaz.com worked on he worked on my last mixtape, Born to Sing Volume 2, on the song Sarcastic. So it's just exciting, man.
So how did you get to, I mean, because I know you sing.
Yeah.
So, but how did you perfect your craft as a songwriter?
Really just studying. I just kind of dove in. It isn't anything that I really had too much experience with, but I just noticed that, you know, writers were turning into artists, you know, just because of their talent, you know what I mean? Like I looked at The Dream, I looked at like Bruno Mars, and you know, all these people were becoming artists, and you know, from the behind the scenes. And the artistry was my first passion, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the back door, and just like these guys, Carrie Hilson, you know, a lot of people are doing it. So I was like, why not? You know what I mean? A lot of the money comes from the songwriting anyway. So I was like, let me stack up the paper, and then the pound, as you say.
The pound.
It's all about the pound, and then you know what I mean? Just be more comfortable, as opposed to just like, you know, a starving artist just like looking for gigs, and you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, let me just try to do it that route instead, quitting the job, and you know what I mean?
Like you said about it being more lucrative, at what point did you like realize that this is your career? You know, when was the actual transition from aspiring songwriter to actually paid songwriter?
Well, when I first started off, really I was just getting in with anybody I could, you know what I mean, just working anywhere. I was in Studio Z. I was in, you know what I mean, studio outdoors, studio basement, you know what I mean? And I remember my first song I did was on an artist called John Brown, and they put Gucci Mane on it. So I was excited about that. I was like, I got a placement, you know, I did a song, and I was really excited about that. I did it with Eric Hudson and my boy Sam Hook. And then I think it was like maybe like Chris Brown's last album when I did Fame. I was really excited about that. The album actually won a Grammy, so I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing something right here, you know what I mean? So I figured like, all right, cool, I'm off to a good start. Let's get it going.
Talking about Chris Brown, you're on the new album.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have 2 songs, and then on Fame I had 2 songs. Well, 3 if you count over here, because Champion, they put Champion on there as well. So I'm just excited. The next one actually, joint I did called Mirage. Nas is featured on that one, so I'm really excited about that one too.
As when you write songs and people perform it, do you ever like give them? How much input do you have? Do you just like, do you vocal it?
Yeah, a lot of times I get called into vocal produce as well. Sometimes, you know, you write a song, you just send it, and then you hear it on the album, or you'll hear it, you know, after they record it. But luckily, I've been, you know, blessed just to, you know, when I write the song, they just like my vibe that I give off and my creative energy, so I'm allowed to be in the room and give, you know, critiques as they're recording the song. So that's real cool.
I've been told by some other songwriters that you sometimes have to not massage artists' egos, but you have to let them feel that they're still the artist. Yeah, definitely. You gotta make sure that they're in control. Even though you write it, they still have to make it theirs. You know, at the end of the day, it's their song. They're gonna be the one performing it. They're gonna be the one, you know, doing interviews about the song. So you want to make them feel at home, like they're still home court advantage, as opposed to, you know, an away game. Yeah. So you obviously must have a publishing deal then? Yeah. So who's your publishing deal?
It's a joint venture with the Writing Camp and Sony ATV.
Okay, and when you get approached for publishing deals, I know with like labels, there's bidding wars for artists. Is that the same with publishing deals?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. My particular situation, I didn't have any history when I, you know, got my deal. I was just a kid who they felt had some potential, so there wasn't too many people really fighting over, you know what I mean? I was unknown. So, but I'm sure, like, if you're, you know, a writer who has, you know, song here, song there, you can pretty much go to all the different publishing companies like, yo, I have this, and they'll immediately be like, okay, we'll give you this. You can go somewhere else and say, hey, they offered me this. Like, okay, well, we'll beat them out. You know what I mean? So.
And the way publishing works, like, is it like sometimes you have to have like, you're obligated to compete, is it like 4 full songs or 8 full songs?
Yeah, everyone's deals, you know, completely different, catered to the writer, the producer. But yeah, whenever you get a deal, you usually have a quota, like what you have to meet, certain requirement, and from then you can just go from there. Like if they say, hey, we're gonna give you this advance, and you have to turn in 4 completed songs, and then we'll move you into your next option. Or some people do admin deals, or some people, there's all different types of deals. I think that it's business before anything. That's it.
It's not friendship, it's not.
Nah. I think it gets to that, you know, sometimes, rarely, but a lot of people are really in this just for, you know, for money, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's like, if I'm like, yo man, they're just using me to write a song for them, but at the same time it's like, but I'm using them to get the track to write too, you know, so everyone's winning, you know what I mean, but it's really like, people are like, yo, business first.